Most nutrition advice you've been given has been designed to make you fail. Cut carbs, go low calorie, track obsessively, and it works, but only for about a few weeks. And then life gets busy. A dinner happens, the weekend hits, and the whole thing falls apart, so then you find yourself starting over again and again. I spent years watching people go through that exact cycle, and I was once in it myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Cam Smith. I'm a certified personal trainer and strength and conditioning coach in Victoria. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact nutrition blueprint that you can use to build muscle, lose fat, and actually keep it off without making fitness your entire life. No gimmicks, no cutting out food groups, just what actually works. So let's dive straight into it.
All right, so here we have it. This is called the Built to Last Nutrition Blueprint. Like I said, this is what I use with all my clients, and it's the exact structure that I follow myself. So without further ado, let's just hop straight into it. Let's start off with what is the problem. See, here's why most diets fail, and it's not because you lack discipline. You've been handed these cookie cutter plans that don't fit your actual life. You follow it perfectly Monday through Friday, and then work gets crazy, dinners come up, the weekend hits, and then suddenly you find yourself off plan. So you either white knuckle your way through it and you're absolutely miserable, or you just say, whatever, throw it out the window, and then you eat everything in sight. And that right there is what you call the all or nothing cycle, and that's the real problem. It's not your willpower, it's not your genetics, it's just the approach. But the thing is, the fix is actually a lot more simple than you would think. So here's my philosophy. This is the fix. Before we get into the specifics, you need to understand where I'm coming from because it's what shapes everything. I believe that your nutrition blueprint should fit your life and bend with it and not work against it. There's no such thing as a perfect diet. There's no magical food that you should be eating. There's no entire food groups that you need to be cutting out. What matters is that you find an approach that works, it's enjoyable, it's sustainable, and you can actually stay consistent with it over a long period of time. Because the thing is, if you're aiming for perfection, you're just putting yourself in a trap. Consistency over the long haul is the ultimate goal. So if you can hit 80% of your targets, even 90% of the time over months and years, that will always beat hitting 100% for 3 weeks and then crashing and then entering that stop-start cycle once again. And that's what my philosophy is all about, and that's why I created the Built to Last method. Okay, so you might be asking, Cam, nutrition seems kind of confusing. What does it actually consist of? What do I need to do? What really matters? So I'm gonna break it down, make it pretty simple. Here's what it actually comes down to. 3 things, that's it. Number 1 is your protein intake. Are you eating enough protein daily on a consistent basis? Number 2, calorie awareness. Not obsessive tracking, just a general understanding of roughly what you're consuming every time you put food in your body. And number 3, like I said before, consistency over time. Not perfect weeks, not crash diets, just showing up repeatedly with a sustainable approach. So many people, apps, or these cookie cutter programs massively overcomplicate it, and that complexity is what kills your progress. That's why I like to break it down this way and make it as simple as possible. Now, don't get me wrong, simple doesn't mean easy, but it does mean it's more sustainable. Next is the foundation. So this is what the Built to Last method all relies on. So you want to mainly prioritize your whole foods. That's the foundation. Like I said, you want to be consistent. So you don't need to eat clean 100% of the time. Remember, you want it to work with your life. You want it to be sustainable, enjoyable. So don't fret on being perfect all the time. Most of the time, you do want to be eating quality food. Some include lean meats, eggs, fish, rice, potatoes, fruits, veggies, all super nutrient dense. And that means more nutrients, more filling, better body composition, and better performance in the gym. Now, along with those whole foods, if I could only give you one piece of nutrition advice, it would be this, is you wanna prioritize protein at every single meal. Protein is the most important lever you have for changing your body composition. It builds and preserves your lean muscle mass, which is what actually makes you look and feel different. It keeps you full, it reduces your cravings, and it can actually help speed up your metabolism. For your target, you want to aim somewhere around 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight every single day. So say, for example, you weigh 180 pounds, you're shooting for 125 to 180 grams of protein every single day. And I know you might be thinking, wow, that seems like a lot right now, but once you start building the habits and building awareness around your meals, you can start building the meals around protein, and then eventually it becomes second nature. Bang, now along with the protein comes carbs. Now, a lot of people and these plans think carbs are the enemy and carbs make you fat. And I'm here to tell you they've been villainized for way too long. Carbs do not make you fat. Being in a large caloric surplus is what makes you fat. Cutting carbs might produce short-term results, but it's also one of the fastest ways to set yourself up for long-term failure. You're gonna have no energy, you're not gonna perform well in the gym, and it's really just not sustainable as well. Carbs fuel your training and your recovery. So energy means better workouts means better results. And the goal isn't 0 carbs. The goal is the right amount of carbs for your activity level and your targets. Remember, no food group gets villainized here. The goals we're after are a healthy, strong body composition and top performance, and carbs serve both. Now let's talk about calories, because some plans cause you to obsessively track over them, track every little thing, and that's not enjoyable because then you're always worried about what you're eating, right? Now, awareness definitely does matter, even if obsessive tracking doesn't. You don't need to log every single meal forever, but you do need a baseline and an understanding of what you're consuming. Because most people are either massively under-eating protein or overshooting their calories by a long shot, and they have no idea. So that calorie awareness is the starting point, so that over time, the goal is to develop enough of an intuitive feel for your intake so that the tracking can eventually become optional. But in order to grasp that awareness and that mindfulness of what you're consuming, you can't really skip the tracking in the beginning, because otherwise, how else would you know? Now, protein and calories are super important, also carbs, very important, and they get a lot of the attention, but these other factors matter as well. So micronutrients, your vitamins, your minerals, they come from a variety of things. Fruits, vegetables, lean meats. Most people are actually deficient in key micronutrients and they don't even know it. Along with that, your healthy fats are essential, not optional, they're essential. They're critical for hormone production, testosterone, estrogen, brain function, your joint health, and low-fat diets tank your hormones. You'll feel flat, fatigued, and wonder why nothing's working. And just like I said with carbs before, fats don't make you fat. A large caloric surplus is what makes you fat. So make sure these other factors are in check, round out your nutrition. It's the difference between functioning and actually thriving. So with all this in mind, what can this actually look like on a day-to-day basis? So you want to hit your protein every single day. You want to eat mostly whole foods, not always, but mostly. You want to train consistently, have a social life without guilt. And when you fall off, because you will, it happens, even I do, you just want to just keep moving, get back on track, don't quit and fall back into that stop-start, all or nothing cycle. And that's it. That's the blueprint. No food is off limits. No social event gets skipped. No Monday restart required. You just keep showing up, stick with it, and see results. When you do this consistently, when you actually stick with it, here's what happens. You build a body you're proud of without giving up the life you enjoy. It's sustainable, it's simple, it's built around you, your goals, and your life. And if you don't believe me, this is the before and after. So on the left was me, I was lifting, I was consistent with that, training hard, but I really just didn't have the nutrition down. I would fall into the all or nothing cycle. I would binge eat, get back on track for 1 to 2 weeks. And I know I wasn't anything awful on the left, but I was bloated, puffy, not very confident, often felt fatigued. And then once I finally got it dialed in, consistent, hitting my protein, getting my micronutrients in, not neglecting carbs, eating mainly whole foods, then I achieved a greater body composition on the right. More confident, more energy, my performance went up, and all in all, a lot better inside and out. If this video gave you clarity on how to actually fuel your body and build muscle and lose fat without giving up your life, make sure to like and hit that subscribe button. I put out content like this every single week. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram. On there, I post daily tips, no nonsense fitness and nutrition advice, and behind the scenes coaching content. And if you're ready to stop guessing and want a plan built around you, your goals, your schedule, and your life, I offer free fitness strategy calls. Click the link below in the description. From there, we'll talk about you, where you're at, what your goals are, and we'll come up with a plan to get you there. See you later. I'll see you in the next one.